Robert Reagan here, about to read Mama's story. Before that, I want to kick this little verse that I just wrote. I'm here with my best friend, and my writing puts him to sleep. What the fuck? Okay, here's this little verse I wrote. Excuse me, but the hater's feeling sorry for himself again, which means you're all in danger. Remove the D, and that's what I'm feeling, fucking anger. Now don't be a stranger, and at your baby shower, they should have gave your mom wire hangers. So what if your bitch will set my dick on fire? I'll still bang her. My battling will leave you twitching. You just a bitch tattling and snitching. And who could I be talking about? Hey, if the high heel fits, faggot, wear it. Can't fight, but I sniff lines of pills and kick rhymes that kill, and don't give a fuck about being disrespectful. This dick you already got a mouthful, so hop off. I'm suicidal and don't give a fuck if it pops off. Every time it does, it pops off. Ask your girl, but she's mad at me cause I don't give a fuck. Can't ever say it enough. Why you breeding with the cattle? Shit. You just mad cause I sunk your fucking battleship. Tell your boys it got hijacked by pirates. Arr, mateys. You bitches better join the choir, ladies. Didn't give your girl AIDS, I gave that bitch rabies. But that's not foam, it's my cum in her mouth. Go ahead, give her a big sloppy smooch. You big sloppy bitch, get your tongue off my gooch. Man's best friend, everyone thinks you're gay, even your pooch. Better watch your back lyrically, cause there's a fucking rapping lunatic on the loose. It's not duck duck, cause you'll suck and fuck a goose, drunk off them booze. And if this was a real battle, you already know you'd fucking lose. Okay. I love doing that shit, man. It's just fun as a motherfucker for me, man. Okay. And this wasn't too fun to write. Mama's story. Ricky never got along with his parents. His dad didn't want a hoodlum son who stole and did drugs. He especially didn't want a son who dreamed about being a writer or a rapper when he wasn't fucked up and breaking into shit. Rick didn't get along with his mom either. She'd never defend his addictions and the way he supported them, but sometimes she would ask him, "What kind of story you writing now?" She kept him in her prayers, asking God to be with her almost 33-year-old little boy. She hoped one day he'd make it as a writer. His mom wanted this simply because she knew he wanted it more than anything. This 32-year-old child broke the 5th commandment daily, even though it was thy father and thy mother who gave him a place to stay in a camper behind their trailer. Rick would burn for being so disrespectful. True, most sons have problems with their fathers, but what son cusses his own mama out? A sorry-ass son whose mama has a right to be a bitch. She should have slapped the taste out of his mouth, and he knew it. His old man took up for his wife. He was 62 and had a bad heart that was in his chest. The heart he had in spirit was too strong to let his punk son disrespect his wife. 30 years as elder, and after triple bypass surgery and double knee replacements, Rick's dad could still fuck him up and then tell him that's what you get by working hard and not getting high and writing all the time. Back in the day, his mama didn't need any help. She slapped the hell out of him and chased his ass down with a belt, no matter how old he was. Even mama talked shit sometimes, telling him if you want to move back home, then you can get treated like a child, just like you did when you were one. Oh, that's right, she said, you never did grow up. Listening to his mama tell it like it is was the reason nothing affected him standing in ciphers as other battle rappers tore him down lyrically. Mama rhymes made him mad, but he could deal with it. After all, he disrespected her himself. When her health failed, she couldn't get around good anymore. With low metabolism, she was overweight and had trouble walking. Unable to get back and forth to the bathroom without falling, she was 53 and forced to wear Depends. Rick couldn't stand to see his mama this way. But then when he didn't have weed or nobody watched his stupid story videos, he'd take it out on her, using all her problems to try and hurt her feelings. At night when he was by himself, Rick would remember all those hurtful things he said to her. That's when they hurt him. All night it would torment Rick until he was able to go to her the next day and say, "I'm sorry for what I said to you, Mama." The day after that, the ungrateful loser would say the same thing and feel bad about it all over again. His mama loved God with all her heart, and just like him, she forgave her foolish son for everything he did. Her son, not his. What would Jesus do? Nothing that Rick would. This drug addict never did the right thing, no matter how many times he watched that Spike Lee movie. Some people just seem to never learn. Such people were only taking up valuable air that a better person could be breathing. Rick actually thought this about himself. It made it hard to go on, but he did because there was people to piss off and prove wrong. Everybody else, like his father, thought his writing sucked. In Rick's dreams, he gets a book published and gives his old man an autographed copy. If he did this to all his haters, that book wouldn't make a dime. Then again, he was in it for the love, not money like all the others. Even in fictional short stories, he told more truths than most poets. Rick didn't lie about anything. He'd tell you he was a terrible son and a worse friend and father. Yes, no one was too stupid to have kids, though Rick was too immature to take care of them. In his life, he was starting to see the truth. He'd always known it, but somehow it was hitting him harder. Every revelation was a fist knocking the breath out of him. Of course, Rick didn't change, but he made an effort. Around this time, his mom started to fall more frequently. Where he would normally be impatient and mean to her, Rick started seeing it for what it really was. His mama, the woman who always did the best she could for him, needed him to do the best he could for her. And that was showing his mom how much he really loved her. Even if showing it was hard to do. Seeing her down on the floor, it made him sad. Seeing her helpless and seeing her weak and helpless. He and his dad weren't always strong enough to help her up. Those times his friends would come and help him. Everyone said things would get better. He just had to give it time. Rick had given it forever, and things just seemed to get worse. Especially after his mom fell and sprained her knee. She'd been neglecting her health, and now she wanted to get some help. Unable to get in the car, Rick's dad had to call for an ambulance to pick her up. They didn't know until later, but one of the paramedics disrespected his mother, saying things like he picked up trash and he and his partner rustled hogs. Only to tell Rick's mom he was just picking. When she told him this, Rick pictured setting the paramedics on fire with a flamethrower. More realistically, he envisioned stabbing this fat, arrogant medic in the stomach with a butcher knife. Yeah, he was always seeing things inside his head like this. That's why Rick wrote stories about it, to fight these thoughts more hostile than any horror movie. He wasn't a good son, but Rick tried his best not to ever disrespect his mama ever again. As far as battle rappers, he planned to pull a Math and punch the next one in the face who said anything slick about his mom. He just didn't play that shit anymore, feeling like someone should punch him in the face if he disrespected her again, especially him. At the hospital later on, he had visions of cutting a doctor with a sharp scalpel after they released his mother. He wanted her to come home, but only after she got better, where she could move around and be happy again. Rick missed seeing his mom when she was really happy. It wasn't meant to be, because without insurance, she couldn't receive the proper care. Rick's dad had worked hard all his life, and now because of a fucked up government, he made too much money for his wife to get Medicaid. What the idiotic government called too much money, Rick's father called barely getting by. He called it going hungry with the refrigerator empty and bills piling up. Hey, they could have got that popular new insurance plan, but it wouldn't help her get into a good hospital. Obamacare shit. Obama could care less. Just like all the presidents before him. How can you care about the American people as a whole when all you've ever known is the rich and high-classed? The country needed someone who really understood the everyday struggle. Bullshit politics aside, Rick just wanted his mom to get better. He wanted to tell her that he loved her and show her that he meant it. She'd always been the best mom she could be, and if he was half that good a son, well, at least it would show he was trying. Thank you.